Called in around about 8 minutes at Harold Park. Sam Nadai, it's all yours.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew. I've grabbed Noel Ovington from National Trot Guide to help me preview the race, and we're going to go through them runner by runner. 11 runners in the end, which is down on what we normally have in the Ben Hur 14, but, well, I've counted 7 chances.
Yeah, definitely 7 chances at least, Sam.
One of them I don't think is number 1, JB's Flush. On his Kilmore Cup run a couple of starts ago, he's certainly a place chance, but I don't see him being competitive on what he did last week when he led and was beaten more than 13 metres behind Selby Bromack and Wally Walton. Selby Bromack is number 2 in the race, an up-and-coming horse. Brian Hancock has looked after him. He won the Bohemia Crystal last week. He had the softer run on Wally Walton, but he probably will be driven in a similar way tonight. Standing start's the query, and I think 2,900 metres is a query.
I do, but I think, Sam, if he gets a nice run, 3 or 4 back on the inside, he's definitely capable of running into a placing.
We own a warrior style, you reckon he can drive in BP Hancock?
I think that's the way he has to be driven, definitely at this stage of his career anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he can get involved in too much of the hustle and the bustle, but a place chance at $21. Wally Walton, very much impressed with this horse's form. I think he's primed for this particular race. 2,900 won't be a problem. He seems to be foolproof from stands, if you can actually say that about any horse ever. What did you make of him?
Yeah, very good standing start horse, which is a big plus, in a race like this where a few queries about some runners, but yeah, he did finish second to At It Again in a previous edition of the Ben Hur, so I wouldn't be ruling him out the chances at all. Definitely a terrific each-way chance.
Well, he's too short for my money at $2.80, I have to tell you, but I know Noel Ovington has tipped him on top. Young Rufus, he was an eye-catching run in the Miracle Mile last week. I thought flattered a touch by the fact that the fastest quarter of the race was the third, so those at the back were entitled to make ground late. But his standing start man is also a query, but I know, Noel, you're gunning for him.
Yeah, I just think he'll, if he steps safely and finds the lead, he'll be very, very hard to run down. I think Mark Purdon will be able to dictate the race. If he runs him along a little bit, I think it'll be very, very hard for him to run Young Rufus down.
At the tapes in the back straight, JB's Flush, Huzzah, Selby Bromack, Young Rufus, Pacini, Rusty Mahoney and Wally Walton on the front. Double Identity, Joe Fess, Holmes DG coming in onto the 10 metres, and Smooth Sat in the back marker 15 metres. Thanks, Paul. They're moving up pretty well here. Young Rufus the favourite at $2.90. Smooth Satin at $3.40. Double Identity $5.90, and Joe Fest $7.60. Wally Walton at $9.50. Now, just clearing the 10-metre strand for these front markers to come in. Young Rufus there just coming up in the blue with the white stars to fill his position. He's the favourite at $3.10. He missed the start in the New Zealand Cup, so he'll be looking to get away cleanly here. And if he lobs in front, he'll give them plenty to chase. These horses on the back coming in now. Smooth Satin, last year's winner, on the 15. Now they're almost ready. Just about set now for the Ben Hur. Selby Bromack not keen to stand up. He straightens up again. Set now, and they're off. And Selby Bromack was a bit slow to go off the front mark here, and he's galloping out the back, Selby Bromack, and beginning fast was Wally Walton going straight to the lead. Now, Young Rufus began only fairly. He's back to midfield early, and at the first turn, Wally Walton goes to the lead from JB's Flush, and Pacini going to third. Then Azar on the outside of Rusty Mahoney. Young Rufus settles down on about 6th spot. Double Identities with him as well. Then a gap to Joe Fest, followed along the inside by Selby Bromack. Smooth Satin second last, and Holmes DG is last. Into the straight the first time, and the field strings out with 3 rounds to go. Wally Walton in the lead from JB's Flush, and third is Pacini, fourth Rusty Mahoney, a length of Azar. Young Rufus is going to be the first to go forward. Double Identity's going to park onto his back, and trailing him up is Joe Fess. On the inside of them, Selby Bromack as they went out of the straight. Smooth Satin is next to last, and Holmes DG was last as they run into the back now. And passing the 2,000 metres, Wally Walton in the lead. Young Rufus is going to go and have a crack for the lead. He sees him coming on, Wally Walton. Young Rufus Rufus is taking him on a long way from home. He draws the stick on Wally Walton. He doesn't want to give the lead away, and young Rufus is going to have to be content with a trail. JB's Flush third, 2 lengths to Puccini. Double Identity's now left without cover. On his back is Joe Fess. Rusty Mahoney on the pegs, a length to Smooth Satin. Hazard next, and then Holmes DG and Selby Bromack with the task ahead. He's gone back to last. Around the turn with 2 rounds to go. Wally Walton in front. Young Rufus had a bite for the lead, but he's now on the leader's back. JB's Flush a length away third. Then Puccini. Double Identity forced to do it tough. He's got to bring the outside horses up without cover. Joe Fest trailing him. Rusty Mahoney the pegs. Then Azar inside of Smooth Satin. Holmes DG second last, and a length to Selby Bromack. They slacken off the tempo a bit now, and running into the back short of 2 to go. Wally Walton the leader. Young Rufus second. JB's Flush is third, a length to Puccini. Without cover, Double Identity, but he's off the pace a bit. Trailing him is Joe Fess. On the inside, Rusty Mahoney. Well back on the pegs, Azar. Smooth Satin third last. Holmes DG second last, and last is Selby Bromack. 1200 out down the back, and the leader Wally Walton. Now young Rufus not risking a pocket. Mark Purdon comes away from the peg, so Double Identity gets the 1-1. JB's Flush goes up behind the leader. 32-3 the first quarter for the last mile. 3 back on the inside and locked up Puccini. Joe Fest 3 back on the outside of Rusty Mahoney. They're slowing right down here. Smooth Satin next, 4 back the outside of Hazard. Holmes DG second last, and Selby Bromack whips them in as they come in for the bell. 1 round out now in the Ben-Hur, and Wally Walton in front. Young Rufus slowly working up on the outside. JB's Flush is trailing the leader, and 1-1 Double Identity. Puccini is locked away 5th. Joe Fest 6th the outside from Rusty Mahoney. Smooth Satin, Hazard, Holmes DG, and Selby Bromack into the back. 31-7 the quarter. The half in only 64 seconds there. Wally Walton in front of Young Rufus on the outside. He's had to do a bit of work. Third, JB's Flush, Double Identity. Park 4th. 5th the inside, Puccini. Joe Fest coming out now. He wants to get Double Identity moving. He comes out wider, and Double Identity comes out in front of him. Smooth Satin tracking up behind them, and then Rusty Mahoney. Down the back there, they leave the 400, the quarter not there, and the leader still Wally Walton. He's giving them plenty to chase, Wally. He's 3/4 of a length. Young Rufus sticking on well. JB's Flush still there on the inside. Double Identity under the whip to try and pick them up, and then Rusty Mahoney, but Wally Walton in front. Young Rufus the outside. JB's Flush and Double Identity up on the inside goes JB's Flush, but Young Rufus grabs Wally Walton, and the Kiwi gets the Ben-Hur. Young Rufus a big win from Wally Walton and JB's Flush. Rusty Mahoney 4th. Double Identity didn't come on the next in. Selby Bromack, then Joe Fest. Smooth Satin never got into it. Neither did Holmes DG, and the last couple Puccini and Hazard.
Mark Purdon and Young Rufus 3.10 and 180. Wally Walton second at 2.30, and JB's Flush at big odds for third at $15.20. 4, 3 and 1 in the Ben-Hur. We'll head back to Harold Park shortly. Gloucester Park at the start for the opener. Race number 1. Ben-Hur at Harold Park. Young Rufus 3.10 and 180. Wally Walton 2.30, JB's Flush at 15.20. The trifecta dividend $776 on the feature with all clear through. Scoring up at Redcliffe, 5th.
To improve upon.